When Steel talks, everybody listens.
When Steve Talks is pleased to be talking with Dr. Robert Stevens, who is professor of music at the University of Connecticut, and we are continuing to explore the way in which Clive Bradley, the late master musician and steel band arranger, touched the lives and the objectives and people in general during his time. And Dr. Stevens was one of the people who admired the work of Clive Bradley, especially in terms of the synergy between Mr. Bradley and Pentonic Steel Orchestra, five-time New York Panorama champions. And Dr. Stevens himself also brought down some students from the campus of University of Connecticut to Brooklyn, New York earlier on this year in 2005 to a type of workshop run by Pentonic Steel Orchestra at which they performed some of Clive Bradley's arrangements. And I think we'll let you take it from there. Dr. Stevens, welcome to When Steel Talks. Very good to have you with us. And we'd just like you to, take it up from here and chat a bit about your experiences with Clive Bradley, his music, and some of the plans that you had hoped to put into place before his untimely passing.
Right. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank When Steel Talks for recognizing not only the importance of Clive Bradley, but the importance of his work, and for allowing me an opportunity just to offer a few comments about him. I have to say that my most incredible moments with Clive occurred when I came down to Brooklyn for Labor Day festivities, and actually he rode in the truck that I drove.
That was for Juve, right?
For Juve, and so we spent a great deal of time together that evening, and it was certainly before that I certainly recognized his importance, but in informal conversations throughout that evening, my respect for him grew even more. He was a consummate musician, not only in his sense of craftsmanship, his ability to put sounds together in interesting ways, but conceptually in terms of how he thought about what he was doing and how he attempted to match it to the people that he was working with. Truly an extraordinary man in that regard. For me, I saw this as just an extraordinary opportunity to try to connect with someone who clearly is a giant at what he does. And we use the word genius all too frequently, and often it's misapplied. But here is a person who I think that the term is absolutely apropos. His music was just simply stunning. His knowledge of the materials of music and how to use them, how to manipulate sound and how to manipulate silence, was simply extraordinary. And I wanted somehow for our students to meet him, to know him, and to listen to this master talk about his craft. And unfortunately, he was taken away from us before we had an opportunity to do that. I also wanted our students here on campus, we have a West Indian student organization, I also wanted those students to be able to connect with someone who represents part of their cultural heritage as well. And they were, and we were in conversation with them, and they were excited about that possibility. The third thing that I wanted to do is that as I have become more and more interested in the steel band is to try to create an whole history. We had planned to do an interview with him in the television studio here, to make it a part of our archives here, and again, unfortunately, that opportunity is lost.
Indeed. So apparently I understand that you were also hoping to visit Trinidad for the Panorama season in 2006 to further observe Clive Bradley at work, in yet another Panorama environment, this time with Desperado Steel Orchestra. That was something you had in planning stages, was it not?
Yes, in fact, that is exactly what I intended to do. It's not often that you get a chance to talk with someone who guided two of the top steel band groups in New York to the first and second place. And also someone, on the other hand, who, across the pond, was also guiding the top group in the Desperados. So he's an extremely, extremely important figure, not only musically, I think, but historically as well. And I really was looking forward to seeing him in a different venue, in perhaps what one might characterize as his home venue, and having a chance to interact with him there.
Understood. Well, Dr. Stevens, or if you prefer, Bob, it's really, really good good of you, in fact, to take time to share your thoughts on your experiences with Clive Bradley, a humble person, but still a genius, even in his humility, and as you say, a master musician, and I believe the word you used was stunning. So thank you very much for chatting with the When Steel Talks and sharing your thoughts on Clive Bradley, the late Clive Bradley, with the global Pan community. Thank you very much again. Dr. Stevens from the campus of University of Connecticut in the U.S.
When Steel Talks, everybody listens.